Hey everyone, Kathy the Vegan Prepper here, and it is time for another vegan weekly meal plan. Vegan prepper. Vegan prepper. If you are new to these videos, I theme and categorize each of my nights to make it easier for me to pick things to plug into each night. Monday is my dump and go instant pot recipe night. Tuesday is a baked dish night. Wednesday is soup salad sandwich night, and it's not necessarily all three of those. It's just like those are the categories I choose from for Wednesday night. Thursday is our international night, and then Friday is fun food night, like just whatever that happens to mean, whichever week we're doing. So it is really handy to do it that way, and it makes it easier to plug things in. I will say that lately I've been experiencing a little bit of, I don't know, lack of motivation when it comes to cooking and stuff. I have realized after doing this now for a few months, it is kind of sucking the creativity out of each evening, which is potentially a negative. A lot of people talk about that, like, what if they don't feel like eating whatever on whatever night? I will say that this is incredible. It has streamlined the meal prep process. It's like I have no stress. I know exactly what we're eating, but there's like kind of, you know, every now and then you just sort of want to throw something together. And so it's been happening more often than not these last couple of weeks that I have actually just been kind of like throwing the meal plan out and making what I feel like making. But I think that even if I do that, that's okay because I'm still making a meal plan. But this week I decided what I'm going to do is plug in some new recipes. And so I'm going to show you what I've chosen and also give you links in the description box below for those new recipes. Now, of course, I have not tested those yet, so I can't necessarily give them the green light, but they sound amazing. That's kind of like, how could that not be good? So I'm going to share with you what those links are. And then in next week's video, I can update you on how they were. I didn't end up posting the video from last week because we were so busy with back to school. It just didn't get, it was like Thursday and I was like, should I even post it at this point? Probably not. So that's why we didn't get a meal planning video for last week, just because, like I said, it was busy. I didn't get a chance to edit it and get it out on time. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the actual calendar. Here's this week's calendar. You can see what we did last week from the video that did not get posted. It's kind of a bummer. We actually did end up doing all of this last week, but Friday night, the pizza we ended up purchasing for our sons because they were watching Stage for Us. That's the night that we went out for our double date. I mentioned in my Goodwill haul video that we went on a double date. And so, yeah, so that ended up happening, but we ended up having Indian food and they ended up having pizza. So for Monday this week, we're going to have the white bean stew. This is a Rainbow Plant Life recipe I'm very excited about. Every single thing that she has ever, I've ever tried of hers has been absolutely delicious. If you don't know about Nisha over at Rainbow Plant Life, go ahead and give it a look. The whole Rainbow Plant Life website, rainbowplantlife.com, has just like a million free recipes. So this is a dump and go vegan instant pot white bean stew recipe, and it looks amazing. I'm very excited. I'm already looking at how I'm going to change it. Like, I'm going to use just tomato paste instead of crushed tomatoes and tomato paste. This is, I don't really have crushed tomatoes, but like mostly I'm just going to leave it the same. So basically I will put that link in the description box down below for you guys, and awesome. This is like another really great advantage to using Google Calendar, I believe, is being able to pull up the link. So if I'm working from my phone, I can just pull up the recipe on my phone while I'm in the kitchen working, and that's pretty great. So Tuesday, I was thinking to myself, it's been a really long time since I've had a baked casserole. So I wanted a vegan broccoli rice casserole. Pretty classic. And so I found this one at a virtualvegan.com. Again, I will leave this link in the description down below. But it looks pretty darn amazing. The only thing I'm going to do differently is I'm not going to use any of the fake vegan cheese. I'm just going to use like a little extra nutritional yeast, maybe, and probably end up using my own vegan faux Parmesan recipe, which is on the channel, just made with hemp seeds. It's ridiculous how delicious that is. So I'll probably end up sprinkling that onto this. This recipe, it was so funny. And I'm laughing because, like, I feel like God is so funny. And this is basically my whole life is this. let me explain to you what happened to me. I went to Whole Foods. I saw that they had the field roast vegan sausage on sale, like majorly good price. I bought it and I was like, what on earth am I gonna do with this sausage? And then when I was thinking for the casserole recipe, I thought to myself, I want broccoli rice casserole. And then this is the one I found that looked the best, and it turns out that it uses field roast sausage in it. So I'm like, oh, I guess that sausage was for this recipe I didn't even know I was making at the time. But yeah, it just sort of worked out. So now this is how I'm going to use that sausage up. If I didn't have the sausage, obviously I could just throw in beans. So I'm still going to put the link down below. And field roast sausage does have oil in it, but no added sugars or anything. And I think of some of the kind of fake, quote unquote, fake meats out there, I feel like there were some of the better ones, less processed. And so anyway, I'm going to use that sausage in that casserole, and it's going to be amazing. Wednesday night, I'm doing my black bean green chili soup of legend and renown. Yes, that's the name of the recipe, and that's the thing that we had last Wednesday, but I messed it up. I was filming a recipe video and I messed up the recipe video. So that's another video I filmed last week that I didn't get to post. I was heartbroken. It was actually already uploaded to YouTube, and I was at the point where I was writing the recipe in the description box, and I realized I messed up the recipe. I used way too many beans, and I can't post that recipe if it's not perfect, because my reputation is on the line with this one, because it is called Kathy's Black Bean Green Chili Soup of Legend and Renown. So the legend and renown, it has to live up to that. So anyway, I named it that myself, which is normally not my practice to toot my own horn. But it's like, this soup, anytime I make it or bring it for anything, people just like fall all over themselves with how much they love it. And it's really delicious. It's truly, truly delicious. Probably one of the best recipes I've ever made besides my cornbread recipe. And when you put the two together, it's just kind of like you hear angels singing. So I'm going to make this again this week and get a recipe video filmed when I am making it correctly. So the day before, I'm going to make my black beans. I'm just doing 1 cup of black beans. That's my note, because I only need 2 cans worth of beans for this recipe. And so that's what I'm going to do. Thursday, we're making pineapple tofu and rice again, just because it's delicious. I wasn't filming it. It's just like our favorite meal right now. So it's just basically baked tofu with a coconut amino teriyaki sauce thing I found at Costco. Some pineapple juice. Like, I basically dump an entire can of pineapple plus the juice into the dish. Do a whole bunch of garlic and ginger, and I mean, it's just kind of glorious. Peppers, and then we take that and we top rice with it, and it's an absolutely delicious meal, and none of us are sick of it yet, so we're gonna have it again. For the 12th, on Friday, we're going to go ahead and do spring rolls. So that's gonna be our fun food night. Basically, I made myself a note here. I'm going to, because I have a whole bunch of lentil spaghetti I need to use up that we don't really like in almost any application, because it's too like mushy and weird. So I'm going to use the lentil spaghetti as the noodles inside of the spring rolls, and then that's going to be kind of a bonus, because I will be able to basically just fill the rest up with vegetables and not have to worry too much about adding a protein source, because then the noodles themselves will be the protein source. But we're just going to have those, probably dip maybe in some of that that same coconut amino teriyaki sauce, or just plain coconut aminos is my favorite thing to, oh, sorry, I smacked the camera. My favorite thing to put on or in these. Actually, typically what we do, because they tend to fall apart, is, and spring rolls, I mean, I'm using like the rice paper, like the ones that you soak in water, and then you make, it's like, they look almost clear. So I found Jane Esselstyn on her channel. She turned me on to the brown rice, like spring brown rice wraps, and they're in a pink package. I guess I could show you. Although never mind, they're not in the package anymore. So they're just the pink package. I will actually find them. I'll link them down below just so that you can see what they look like. And so I use those, and we make just really delicious yummy spring rolls, but they don't really hold together. So typically what I do is I do like a little dish for each person with a little bit of the sauce that we're using. And we use these tiny little spoons that we have, and we use the tiny spoons to sort of like put on top of each bite we take, because if you try to dip it, it doesn't work at all. So that's what we do. But anyway, we're going to have that on Friday night. And so that is our meal plan. I did forget today we're having for lunch this, well, it's heavily modified. I modified it very much, this Mexican tater tot casserole. And so I'm going to show you just a little bit of video of making, or not making it, but like what it looks like before and after coming out of the oven. I think it's going to be really good. I used, well, I'm not going to talk about it here because I already talked about it in the shot I got earlier. But yes, we're going to have this. I will be putting a link to this down below as well because it just looks amazing. So I found this one while I was looking for a casserole before I decided to specifically search for the broccoli rice casserole. Here is the modified tater tot casserole getting ready to go into the oven for our Sunday lunch. It already looks and smells amazing. I ended up dusting, because these are just plain potatoes and they don't have their own salt and flavor, I ended up dusting them with this stuff. Adam's boss gave him this jar and it's really quite delicious. I don't really know the brand. I think you can order it online, but this is what it's called, and yep, there you go. And some nutritional yeast, so yeah, I'm gonna get that in the oven. Putting that Mexican tater tot casserole together, and we had a little bit of a crisis with the potatoes. The bag tore, and while I was trying to fix the bag of potatoes tearing, also the bag of blueberries tore in our freezer. If you don't know, we buy a lot of our frozen things in bulk, and we used to have a 30-pound bag of potatoes and then a 30-pound bag of blueberries. Well, I mean, we've been using them, so maybe a little less than that. But now these giant bags are split into much smaller bags because, yeah, I tore both of the bags in the freezer and just rained potatoes into my freezer. So it's a little bit of a shot of that crisis. Props to my husband for taking care of basically the whole mess for me. I was standing there like, what can I do? What can I do? How can I help? How can I help? And he was just like, I don't know, just you know, I'm just gonna do it. So many thanks to him. Oh my gosh, well, it certainly looks and smells incredible. Let's go ahead and get it dished up and see what we are dealing with. Oh my gosh, it smells even better now that I started scooping it out. I did definitely modify it quite a lot, but I did add some cauliflower rice and some leftover regular rice. And I was going to add a whole bunch of cut up greens, and I realized I didn't do that because that's when we were in the middle of dealing with the potatoes and the blueberries, and we were still kind of running crisis control on that. So oopsie, I didn't get the greens in, but there is still some cauliflower in here, so that's good. And let me go ahead and give it a taste. All right, I'm getting to taste it first. I guess I usually do, huh? Because I like make sure that it's okay before I serve it to my family. Wow. I don't know if I just showed you all the food in my mouth. Sorry. Okay. That's amazing. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready to dish out to everybody. I think everybody's going to be excited. So yeah, I definitely recommend the recipe. I know, like I said, I modified it, but still I very heartily recommend this. It's overall, because I mean, I use the bones of her recipe, so it's really good. And especially, I would imagine if you actually did it with tater tots, it would be insane. So anyway, yeah, this is really good. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. Let me know anything you want to let me know down in the comments below. I love to hear from you. See you guys in the next one. Bye.